What I want to cover with you in this video is how to set up your green screen properly. So not only can it be used for, again, creating videos, but also on the production side of things, items for you to avoid, and also how do we make this process smooth, right? So I'll explain exactly what I mean by all that. Just to give you an example of the effort and the time that actually went into putting together really what I want to show you. So it's not just a matter of, hey, going on Amazon, click, 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 and you know what, I've got some lights, I've got some wireless mics, etc. It's a lot of trial and error. I'm running on my third set of lights here. First ones didn't work, and what I mean by that is, they just weren't good for a small space. Either they didn't light correctly, the second set of lights were way too bright, more like shop lights for an automotive repair shop, right? So those didn't work as well. You're receiving all this stuff in the mail, adapters, wireless mics, lighting, like what do you actually do with this? So that's what I want to cover with you in this video. And one thing I realized just recording an earlier version of this video is, my phone, so it's a Huawei P30 Android phone, has a max cap of 10 minutes recording time when it comes to 4K. So that's something you might want to check on your phone as well, right? Whether you're using Android or iPhone. If you're recording in 4K, a lot of the phones will shut off, or the video will shut off after 10 minutes. Just again, it's to save, to not overload the resources, burn out the battery, whatever the reason. It's 10 minutes max, right? So I made the mistake of recording 25 minutes, went seamlessly, beautiful video for you, and you know what? Half of it was gone. So I'm just re-recording this now. So keep that in mind, 10 minutes for your phones for 4K. Just double check that. I want to go through then lighting your green screen. And keep in mind, I just said lighting your green screen, not lighting. There's a big difference. Lighting your green screen and then lighting you, the talent, which is the next point I want to go through with you in this video, completely different, completely separate. And that's the biggest mistake I think that most people make when they start investing in green screen equipment and they want to do YouTube green screen videos, etc. is how do you actually put this together? The third item I want to cover with you in this video is sound. Okay, we'll go through that. So those are your wireless mics, but also sound in your environment. And last but not least, some tips and tools for recording videos, right? A couple of different options you can do since we're not using teleprompters. I'll show you my setup here and how that works. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I mentioned don't pay no attention to the sound because I'm not plugged into my wireless mic. So I just want to give you a quick kind of, don't mind the giraffes as well, kind of just a quick look at how I have my green screen set up. 2 umbrella lights that I bought a while back, right? So, but there's my green screen. Okay, and again, there are my 2 soft boxes that are actually set up, which set to remote control. So really nothing fancy. And then when I'm actually standing here, I have a bit of sound dampening there on the wall. So those are those wall panels that you can actually see. So I'm not too far away from the actual camera here, which is about 5-6 feet away. Okay, and the cool thing is, I think I mentioned this earlier on, is if I have this, just little remote that I can plug into my laptop, right? And I can basically use my monitor as, or PowerPoint on my monitor as a teleprompter. You can also use that free app as well from Google if you wanted to, or again, if you're more old school, then simply use a piece of paper stuck to just a little bit underneath your camera. Okay, so basically I have on my belt clip here, I have the transmitter, and over here on this stand, which is really right behind my monitor, I have the receiver. Okay, and again from here, really what this is I'm just going to plug this into the side of my camera, and I'm going to place this on the mount right here behind the monitor. All right, so the first thing I want to cover with you is my setup here, and I'll shoot another angle from when I actually come downstairs here in the mornings or any time, let's say throughout the day, to shoot a video. But really, when I walk in, and I have a bit of light coming in, which again is a no-no, but for the purposes of this video, we're okay. So really, the first step is you'll want to record in a location, in a room that really has no natural light coming in. The reason why is, again, it's going to screw up, it's going to mess up your green screen completely, right? And it on the side of keying, and what I mean when I say keying is, it's really, the software that we use is one click. So it's an eyedropper. Place the eyedropper on the green screen, and if there's a different variants of the green screen, like you can see me here too, right? Kinda. You'll notice, I don't know if you can actually see this on the camera, you should be able to though, is, you know what, there's different shades of green here. So it's not going to be one click, and to actually get those different shades of green out, there'll probably be about 50 of them, believe it or not. Again, our eyes are super accommodating, but the camera isn't. So the software isn't as well. It's not going to be one click, and it's really going to be hours and hours of labor intensive trying to get that damn green out so that we can replace it with another background. And you know what, it's a road to green screen hell is really what I would call it. And again, I've experienced it, and that's why I want to go through it with you and share what not to do and really how to set up your green screen properly, right? So come downstairs. I have my little piece of tape here on the floor, which that's why I know exactly where to stand, right? I have a little remote control, and again, I think these box lights come with a remote control as well, right? But I just have it set up simple too, so that, you know what, it's easy when I come downstairs. So first thing I'll do is I'll turn on my two box lights, right? Okay, so there, my green screen is lit. Next, I'll turn on, again, my key lights, for example. You can call them what you want. It's ring light is really what you'll be using, so that's going to be more in front of you. Careful with that as well. Make sure that your green screen is not lit more than, or brighter, sorry, than your key light, right? Because again, you're going to come across way darker than you should be. For example, shadows, all that stuff, right? Again, it's just a hot mess when it comes to the production side of your video. Okay, so let me just start again. I'm going to turn everything off, right? The other item that I have is, you know what, it's a really inexpensive IKEA light that I found in the house. And again, you'll want to use something like this. Again, just put it about, probably about 2 feet behind you and maybe a foot or so above you, so it doesn't come in. Really, the purpose of that is, if you notice, and I'm hoping that this will actually get picked up on the video, is it's just there to light you a silhouette, right? And to move you away from the green screen, right? So that light above is usually called a hair light, ironically, right? It's used to move you off of the green screen. Again, you don't notice it when you're actually recording this or in production, but it's there to push you away from the green screen, right? So you don't blend in and you don't have like a green halo around you. And just a nice silhouette to light kind of the back, top, shoulders, head, etc. The purpose of that hair light is just to move you a little bit off of the green screen, just a little. So, and I want to show you that what that actually looks like in the dark. Okay, so I've got my number 1, number 2, okay, box lights, soft box lights here for my green screen, and I've got my key lights, which are lighting me. In your case, it'll actually be the ring light. Okay, so that's really the lighting setup. And you can probably, I didn't cut anything out really, just maybe a little bit of cropping here, but you can actually see this, my two, so I'm really literally probably not even a foot away from them. Okay, so in terms, if you're wondering how do I set this up, put your two softbox lights probably at the edge, so face them forward. Face them forward towards the green screen, right? Obviously, open up your green screen. Place them so that the middle of these two lights, or one of the lights, let's say if I take the left edge, make sure it's in the middle of, let's say, the edge of your green screen, and then turn it 45 degrees. I don't know if you can actually see this, but it's at about a 45-degree angle, okay? So the reason, again, why is you're lighting the green screen, not yourself. Now, if I move back, this is what's going to happen, right? Not only am I going to be lit and everything's going to be off, but also I'm going to blend into this green screen. Okay, so that hair light's going to do nothing because it's not a powerful light. It's just meant to kind of move me off a little bit and maybe give me a little bit of a silhouette. But this is not the way to do it. And I think that's what those kits that you see on Amazon, right? You get 2 lights, 3 lights, actually, is kind of like what you have. And people think like, well, those 3 lights are perfect to create a green screen video. And that's not the case. I'll tell you that right now. Those kits that come with a green screen and 3 lights, it's 3 lights and a green screen. Okay, and again, your green screen has to be lit separately. Those lights are really for the talent or for you. Okay, so step ahead a little bit. Again, these box lights are probably about 2 feet, give or take, away from my green screen. So they're pretty close, right? So I'm going to move a little bit ahead. You'll notice a difference as well. So as soon as my peripheral vision can't see those lights anymore, or very little of them, I'm good, right? So you want them behind you. And again, then you have your key light there. Adjust that so it's got a nice soft glow, right? So it doesn't look like you have the sun in your face. Okay, but I don't have one of those key lights right now, so I'm just using my 2 older umbrella lights here, or photo lights. Okay, so that's really, in a nutshell, that's lighting in terms of lighting your green screen and lighting the talent, lighting yourself. Okay, and again, I don't have much space here, and I think I mentioned this earlier on too, right? Probably, again, these soft box lights are about 2 feet away from the green screen, and I have about 8 feet, not even actually, 7 feet, yeah, probably about 8 feet, 8 or 9 feet from the green screen to my camera. So where I'm standing right now is probably about 5, 6, not even 5 feet. So I'm pretty close. Okay, and again, I know exactly what I'm doing. Come down in the morning, click, click, click with my remote. I've got my computer set up, my phone, good to go. Sound is on, turn on both transmitter, receiver, and I'm ready to record, right? So make your life a little bit easier. If you have to pack this stuff away, let's say at the end of the day, that's fine too. Put a little piece of tape maybe on your floor, on your carpet, as to what you put where. Once you have this actually down, in terms of okay, so this is how the setup is going to be every day from here on. And again, this way you're not second guessing as to, oh, where did that go? How do I turn that, etc. Right? Or even shoot a quick little video for yourself as to a reminder. So, oh yeah, like that's how I have to turn my softbox. Okay, so that's lighting the green screen and lighting yourself, the talent. Okay, next on our list is sound. Okay, so we've covered lighting the talent, which is you. Then let's get to sound, right? And again, in recording videos on your laptop, let's say you have a microphone in front of your laptop, you're using those earbuds or even your wireless mic. The ratio in terms of what's most important on recording, let's say a how-to video on your laptop, is 90% sound and 10% everything else that you see and people will see on the screen, right? The animation and panning, zooming, recording 4K in the model, for example. When it comes to green screen, it's the opposite. 90% is lighting, which we just covered, and 10% is everything else. If you can get this 90%, because it's the biggest pain when it comes to keying out that green. And what I mean by that is keying out the green is it's one click with an eyedropper in the software that we use, and it's either a hit or a miss. And maybe a couple minor adjustments, but that's about it. And if that doesn't work, then from there on, it's green screen hell is really what it is. And in the end, it's either not going to work, we're going to have to settle on, oh, you know what, that's okay, that's hopefully nobody will notice, or you'll have to re-record your video. Okay, so 90% lighting, green screen, and yourself, and 10% when it comes to, let's say, teleprompters, audio, environment, etc. Okay, so that brings me then to audio. So you have a Saramonic, I believe, wireless mic. I have an older version, but you know what, it works fine. There's really no difference. I think the only thing they changed is the cover. So what I have here, basically clipped to my belt, is the Saramonic UW Mic 9. So I have the transmitter and the wire. I don't know if you can actually see this, but it's coming in under my shirt. And I have the mic clipped here. So you'll probably want to, I actually tried it here under my beard to hide it. If you look at it a little bit more professional, productions, etc., they can actually hide the mic sometimes. You know, it might be on the inside of their jacket, might be on the inside of their sweater, right? Piece of tape. So I don't think we really need to go that far. If you're wearing a hat, even a baseball hat, some professionals, what they do is they run the mic in the back up through the inside of a hat, and it's basically taped to the lip of the hat. And so again, you don't see it or even notice it, right? But again, this is fine. If you're wearing, you know, shirt, sweater, blouse, whatever the case is, you'll want to clip this probably about 6 inches, give or take 6 to 7 inches from, let's say, where you're speaking. And again, you know, move about a little bit, not too much, just to see, like, does this actually move? But a little trick that I use is, I don't know if you can actually see this. There's a little bit of a loop here. Really, all you want to do is create a quick little loop and then clip it here. And the reason why is, if I'm moving and let's say this starts to pull, for example, right? So really what you're doing with that loop is it's not going to pull your mic down, or it's not going to drop down, it's not going to fall out, whatever. You're giving it a little bit of free play here with that loop, okay? Just a little bit of a trick, so that, again, if this is kind of snug under your shirt or sweater, whatever the case is, it's not going to just come undone and it's not going to fall down. And then, you know, let's say you're already like 9 minutes into your video, you're going to have to re-record that section all over again. Okay, so just a little bit of a trick. So I'm running on channel 3. You have 90 plus channels with this, so sync it up depending on your environment. Saramonic will actually figure out what's the best channel for the transmitter and the receiver. Okay, so I've got my transmitter here, that's on, and my receiver is, I showed you this at the beginning, is actually standing or sitting right on top of my phone or camera in this case. Okay, and really that's all there is to that. From the receiver, it's actually, I have my dongle or adapter, so the receiver is plugged into the adapter, so my Y splitter, and that is plugged into my phone. Okay, I always do a little test beforehand, and again, here's just another little tip you might want to do. Before you start recording or talking, count down from 5 or just even 3, 2, 1. It takes a few seconds, 2 seconds I think, for the transmitter and the receiver to just adjust and pick up the sound properly, right? So once you're ready to go, just count down from 3, 2, 1, pause, and then you can go, right? And the sound should be fine then, recording into your phone, well, into the transmitter, receiver, and then into your phone. Okay, so really that's it when it comes to sound. Okay, the last but not least item I want to go through with you are some tips and tools for recording. So we're not using a teleprompter because, again, it's a little bit more difficult when it comes to your camera. I don't think we really need one. So there's really 3 things you can do. My first preference is I have an old monitor that I'm using here. If you have a second one, so depending on where you're setting this up, right? So I showed you at the beginning of this video how I have this set up. So I have a monitor here, just a little bit underneath, so it's almost at eye level, but a little bit underneath my camera, right? So on that, I have a PowerPoint, and copy and paste your text into your PowerPoint slides. Simple, doesn't have to be fancy, right? Just blank PowerPoint slides, copy and paste. And again, you can have your different chapters or modules in there as well. And I just have a really inexpensive clicker that I used to use for PowerPoint presentations, for example, and click and you're on to your next slide. You can have it down here. Nobody will even notice that you have it, right? So really, some of the items that I'm showing you, again, I have my objectives here in front. You don't see them, but again, I'm reading them just, again, to make sure I don't forget anything and leave anything out for you in this video. Okay, so you can have that. My laptop is off to the side there. You can also have, you know, something inexpensive as here. Hang on a sec. Okay, something as inexpensive as a piece of paper. What you can do is tape it right there. Go old school. Why not? It works. I've done it. And you know what? Just print it off if you have a printer at home or at the office. Print it off larger font, and you can just read that. Just tape it right underneath the lens of your phone or camera, And you know what? Nobody will be the wiser. Again, if you're standing a little bit further away, even better, because then your eyes don't have to go up and down to read it, right? It just looks like you're reading and the flow is natural. Okay, so that's number two. Or you can also go with the third option, which is free. And again, there's tons of apps you can download as well. If you have an iPad or even a tablet, you can use that, right? If you go to Chrome, you can use, here, I'll put this up. You can use teleprompter. That's free, limited control, right? But again, once you start it, it's a teleprompter, and you can have that basically just positioned on your laptop, just a little bit underneath your phone, right? Or actually just maybe a centimeter or two, about an inch underneath your phone. And again, you can just read off of that. And don't fret if you make a mistake. This is a learning process. I guarantee you, this is not going to, you're not going to start recording and hey, done, right? I wish that was the case. Eventually you'll get to that point. But when you start, you're going to mess up. You're going to want everything perfect. You're going to wonder, is this good? Is the lighting good? Is my sound good? Etc. So record, and that brings me to our last point is, you know what? Record a 20-30 second video. Do a minute if you want to. Doesn't really matter. You know what? It might be perfect and you might be good to go. And I really hope that's the case. And if not, that's okay. Let's see what needs tweaking. It might be the sound a little bit. You might need to just change the channel on your transmitter receiver. Maybe it's picking up a little bit of static. Maybe you have an air conditioner in the background or heating. You don't hear it. Again, our eyes and ears will adjust really well to our environment. But maybe outside there's some noise coming in. So again, little things like that, and you can make note of it too. And then you'll be more aware and you'll be able to correct video as well too. Is everything good to go? Sound quality, video, all that stuff. So I hope this helps. Reach out if you have any questions, any issues. It's going to be a learning curve. I guarantee you that. Don't get discouraged as well. You will be, after you're doing your 50th take of, let's say, that one damn paragraph that you're trying to record. You'll perfect it, guaranteed. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with the equipment, but also the environment, and again, something a little bit new. So reach out if you have any questions, issues. I'm here to help, and I hope this video will help you in terms of making things a little bit smoother in terms of transitioning to recording video. All right, thanks for watching.